Thank you for tuning in to Cop with Critic. I'm Brian Koppen, and we're with critic Reed Jackson. Reed Jackson, how the hell are you?
I'm great.
Good. We got to be very clear about where we can find you online because I guess there's a lesser Reed Jackson critic.
No, he's just not as active. He's actually better than me. I want that for
Well,
the
good.
record.
At least you're humble.
Yeah.
But we can find you on Twitter, Naked Foul, which is hilarious. So it's NAKEDFOUL. And right now, as your Twitter kind of the your name above Naked Foul, it says Lou Reed Tyranny. What's the story behind
Yep.
that?
One of my favorite musicians is Blue Jean Tyranny, sort of a weirdo avant-garde pianist. And I just kind of fit with my name a little bit too. Also, I really like Lou Reed, so it all worked out.
Oh, yeah, I find myself discussing Lou Reed a lot. I think a lot of people like him, which is great. I think even David Bowie liked him, which is, high
Yeah,
praise. But also
totally.
nakedfowl.substack.com, Too Many Notes from Underground is the name of the Substack. What kind of stuff is going on there? Is it all the writing that doesn't make it onto third party
Uh,
kind of critic websites?
no, I started it because Twitter started sucking really bad, and I thought it'd be another way to sort of share my writing. But I've really not kept up on it too much. I would post like links to my stuff there with like a little behind the scenes supplemental info. I may get back to it.
But yeah, you're totally right. Twitter has fallen off, but thank God that you're now on Instagram, which has not fallen off as bad, and that's
No.
Blargeld,
Yep.
Blargeld. What's the etymology or the origin of Blargeld?
Okay. Originally, I just set up that account to keep an eye on local record stores, what they had, so I could go buy stuff. And I was just like, I wasn't going to set up an account at all. So I just started typing Blarg in the name field because I was so tired of like inputting information. And then it occurred to me that Blarg and Blixa Bargeld, the Bad Seeds, what instrument does he play? Guitar? I don't know. Bad Seeds member Blixa Bargeld, former member, I guess. So I just kind of punned on that. I don't know. I spent like 5 seconds thinking about that stuff.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful. That's a music critic for you. And like,
yeah,
Blarg
totally.
is Blarg is taken, but Blargeld is not. So
All right.
that's very innovative. So we're doing the Hall of Fame face off where we each pick up. In this episode, we're picking five Rock Hall of Fame artists and five songs. We're facing them off against each other. I don't necessarily declare winners because it's kind of hard, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
go first because if I serve up a weak one, you can serve up a weak one to beat it. Or if I serve up something super strong, you can kind of offer up a sacrificial lamb. And so I'm going to do,
Strategy.
yeah, I'm going to do, let's do Beach Boys, Sloop John B. What are you facing off against it? And why did you pick what you picked?
Great question. I'm gonna go with R.E.M's Cuyahoga.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like some people picking REM are doing it off a Life's Rich pageant. And I
Yeah.
had this longtime record store employee coworker who said, a lot of people are either Life's Rich pageant or Fables of the Reconstruction. And I guess you
hmm
picked your poison.
Yeah, definitely. I like them both, but if I had to pick one, it would be pageant for sure.
So yeah, so why Cuyahoga and what did you think of Sloop John B?
Sloop John B, I've always loved. My dad was a huge, or is a huge Beach Boys guy. Um, so I think it's a great song. I know for a long time it was kind of considered the like cheesy track of Pet Sounds, but I'm glad to see that sort of changing. Um, Cuyahoga, I don't know exactly why I match them up together, but there's a certain like tonal similarity there. Uh, it's sort of wistful. There's a lot of vocal harmonies. Um, Sloop John B is sort of about a retreat from the world. I think Cuyahoga is about sort of the same thing, but it's about setting up like an alternate world.
Yeah,
Um,
so yeah, tell me about what is the story behind Cuyahoga? Because the one thing I have about it, I love REM. I like, every single musical part, especially the
mhm.
pre-chorus and the chorus, except the verse thing seems lyrically repetitive to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I like lyric repetition though. Um,
Yeah, it can be good. Usually Stipe is so nonsense
yeah.
that once you get a lyrical hook that makes sense to you, like some of the stuff on Out of Time that I like a lot is country feedback. Like it's just a
hmm
bunch of
Yeah,
you know,
list.
his word salad, but then he's saying, you know, I was central, I lost control, I need this, and we understand I need this. We don't understand everything else he's saying,
Right.
but if he repeats something that makes sense, that's always a good thing in a Michael Stipe lyrical song.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So
Um,
what is Cuyahoga? Is that some Ohio River or something? What is it?
it is an Ohio River. So it's one of R.E.M's many river songs. They've got several. Other than that, it's hard to say exactly what it's about, like all R.E.M songs, but I really like the line, "Let's put our heads together and start a new country up," that sort of defines what was happening in the underground at that time. Like there was this real sense of, a subculture being larger than a regional scene or just like the underground. It was like sort of becoming the new, for want of a better word, alternative.
But that's why you call your Substack Too Many Notes from Underground. You're big
Yeah,
into underground.
that's one of
And
the
that
reasons
was
for sure.
Athens, Georgia, right? So B-52s were there, and I love. I don't know if they were there at the same time, maybe not, but Out of Time had Me and Honey, the song involving what Kate Pearson from B-52s, and that's one of the better songs on there.
Yeah, yeah, they were there at the same time for
Oh,
sure.
good. I love B-52s. Now, yeah, I guess, it's kind of a draw for me. I think, because of the lyrical repetition, I don't know that Cuyahoga is my favorite, but also Sloop John B is a cover.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean, it's one of my favorite Beach Boys songs, but it's a cover, and I don't love Pet Sounds as much as other people do. It has a lot of kind of short music in there. It's just like that's not even a song. So yeah, we'll move on. What would you pick next?
Um, I'm gonna go with Joni Mitchell, the dry cleaner from Des Moines.
That is funky as hell. And before you talk about it, I'm gonna serve up a sacrificial lamb in the form of Queen's "I Want It All." Yeah. So tell me about what do you think about each of those songs, and tell me how that Joni Mitchell song got so funky? Because I'll also be discussing a different Joni Mitchell song later today, and it is nowhere near as funky. Like what was she going through at the time that kind of made her sparkle in this song?
That's a great question. I don't know. I listen to Joni and really have almost no idea what is happening with her. It's one of my like the main reasons I go to her. I don't know a ton about her. Um, I've never really like dived too deep into her, but when I hear it, it always just kind of blows me away. Um, yeah, like why this particular album, she was like getting really into jazz for whatever reason. I mean, jazz is great, but I don't know what led her to that point or why she decided to go so far into it to the degree that she did. I mean, it's really like a huge left turn from her folky stuff.
Is the rest of the album
Um,
like this? Do you remember?
yeah,
Yeah, is
yeah,
that upbeat like this?
um, maybe not. Yeah, it's super weird. It's like the same. It's from the album Mingus, which tells you where she was coming from. Um, yeah, it's just it's a weird uh sort of mix of like pop and jazz and funk. It's sort of like Van Morrissey, Astral Weeks, but without all the weird spiritual stuff. It's just like she was working with a lot of jazz guys on this. That's part of the reason why it just sounds so ridiculous. You've got like Tony Williams drumming, John McLaughlin on guitar, Jan Hammer's on there, Stanley Clark, just like really crazy fusion dudes. Um,
That must have been inspiring because she's like, you guys do your thing, and then they come up with something funky, and she's like, I can write lyrics to this. I can write lyrics to anything.
yeah, yeah, she really can. Oh, you
Because
know what? I misspoke. Those guys were people she was playing with at the time.
okay,
But yeah, on this album, it's Herbie Hancock. You got Jaco Pastorius, Peter
gosh,
Erskine, like just
even
crazy,
even
crazy guys.
I've heard of those people. Yeah, the other song
Yeah.
we're discussing today, Joni Mitchell song, is just kind of a folk song, but it's so jazzy
hmm
that it just doesn't work as well as this thing does. And then, what do you think of Queen's "I Want It All"? If anything,
Queen is one of those bands I always enjoy when I hear them on the radio, but I don't know that I've ever like deliberately listened to them. except for
Yeah,
when
they're a little
they
bit arty to want to sit down and listen to them. But they're, I
it's
mean, they're really
just
great, but it's just like you
yeah, they're
said, it's just,
fun.
yeah. It's like,
And there's
am I in
a
the mood for a bicycle race? That kind of thing.
yeah, that's actually a very good analogy. It's like the most I ever like really sat and listened to Queen was when they had the song on the Wayne's World soundtrack when I was like 12 or whatever. And I'm
Oh,
not
the
gonna lie, it
Bohemian
totally
Rhapsody or whatever it
uh-huh.
is.
Yeah, it blew my mind. I'd never heard Queen before that, I don't think. So when they launched into it in the car in the film, I like totally lost my mind. Um, I do like Queen though. I think they're one of those bands I always feel like I should maybe get more involved with because they're both really catchy and anthemic, however you say that word,
Yeah.
and also just like kind of complex. There's a lot of emotion that feels overblown but totally honest at the same time. I don't know how he does that,
That's
right?
just how he
Because
does, man, right?
it's
He is
so
overblown,
theatrical.
but he's also genuine, I think.
Yeah, like just really like there's an immediacy to it that is hard to combine with that level of theatricality, and yet he totally does it.
He's just like, yeah, I'm a theatrical dude. And so, I mean, you're gonna
Yeah,
get
it's
big,
who he
big
was.
emotions. They're my emotions, but they're
Yeah.
huge. And
Yeah.
I think I got into this first of all, I think it's like one of the, it doesn't have the weird turns that their progressive stuff has. This is just kind of a
Hmm.
pop thing. And my dad had a single or something. I don't think he was, yeah, I don't
Yes.
think he was into Queen, but it was I Want It All. And so I really fell in love with that. And as a kid, you hear something like Bicycle Race and you're like, oh, this is great, or Bohemian Rhapsody, and you're like, this is wonderful. But yeah, I don't want to listen to it too much. And so of course I'll give you that just because the Joni Mitchell song is so darn good. Let me think. What about my song will be Temptations, Runaway Child, Running
Mm,
Wild.
yeah.
What are you facing off against it? What do you think of it? And why'd you pick what you picked?
All right. Yeah, that's a great song that you picked. That's a tough one to face because I feel like I don't have any real duds in my list, of course.
Yeah, neither
But
of
it's
us have
hard.
that, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's hard to go up against that. You know what? I'm gonna say Velvet Underground, What Goes On, because I think that the doo-wop influence on Velvet Underground is sort of under discussed. Like there's a real similarity between sort of the melodic style of the Temptations and some of Lou Reed songs.
Yeah, this one is really poppy. Is there any doo-wop influence in this one?
Not so much, but I mean, it's not on the surface, but I think in everything Lou did, especially early on, there's that sort of basis because that's what he listened to a lot of as a teen.
Oh,
And he's
cool.
also from Long Island, if you're born in the 40s and from like Long Island, you basically just grew up with doo-wop. It was everywhere.
Is it Frankie
So
Valli?
yeah, just all those guys like so I just kind of I don't think it's like so influenced by doo-wop as some of his other ones, but I definitely think it's there just in like the harmonies and the melodies and the way he sort of phrases the verses. Also, this is unrelated, but I think it has one of the best guitar solos in the rock and roll canon or whatever.
Really? I'm gonna have to listen
Yeah.
to that again. Yeah, what makes it so good?
It's really drony. He, I think, just recorded multiple tracks of him, so it's like got a lot of layers, and instead of like being bluesy, it just kind of hangs there. It feels pretty radical to me, especially for when it came out. It just doesn't like have it. It's not a lick. There are no licks or like hammer-ons. It's
Yeah.
just, but it still has a lot of different modes, probably because he layered it so much. I don't know that he could ever play that
Well, cool.
straight.
I mean, that's kind of what I want to know. It's kind of like I listened to it a couple times, I think, and I don't know that I remember the solo. So I'm gonna be able to go back to it with kind of renewed attention and just kind of focus on it and be like, oh my gosh, Reed Jackson said this is one of the best solos of all time. Do they
Yeah.
usually put in solos in Velvet Underground or Lou Reed songs?
Uh, yeah, he does, but they're less, fantastic. He's not a flashy guitar player. So this is one because of the way they put it together, it sort of sticks out, I think, to me.
Oh, good. Well, I'm gonna check that out, and I think Temptations might win that one. But
Yeah.
what's your next song?
Um, I'll go Miles Davis Rated X.
Yeah, let's face it against something. let's do ABBA, Gimme, 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 A Man Before Midnight, which is
What a contrast.
yeah, it sounds yeah, they could be more different. And I think yeah, the first time I heard Miles Davis rated X, and I was like, is he playing on this? And so I had to look it up, and
Yeah.
I guess it's keyboard, and it's
Hmm.
almost atonal or dissonant or something. I don't know what those words mean, but it
No,
all fits
you're
together.
using them right.
Yeah, it all fits together pretty well because the guitar rhythmically it really sets in nicely with his keyboard. Yeah, what do you think about this? Yeah, why'd you pick the song out of all the Miles Davis songs you could have picked? It kind of stands
Well,
out, right? Because this was
it
the
does
only one
stand
he didn't
out.
play his
Yeah.
instrument on.
That's this a lot of this album it's on Get Up With It. He plays organ on like the first track on this album is like a 35-minute tribute to Duke Ellington that's almost ambient. It's amazing. But sorry. I
No,
picked
I'll have
this
to check that.
one.
I'll have to check that out as a result. So thank you.
It's great. It was the first Miles Davis song I really like fell head over heels with. Like I was just like, oh man, I could like live in this song. And then I listened to the whole album and I was just, blown away. The Rated X hits. It's like so dirty and skronky. It's just unbelievable.
It's always like
Uh,
Halloween. It's a little scary at some point.
yeah, like it's got that spooky haunted house feel to it, but it's also like really greasy. It's just got so much stank on it. It just blows me away every time I listen to it.
Well, that says a lot that it was kind of your entree to, or your entrance point to Miles Davis. Like the fact that
Mhm.
they go out there sometimes and we're like, it's kind of like Bowie, where some of the more funky stuff is kind of what was like, oh my Lord, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I have to get in there. Whereas if you're a
Yeah,
jazz guy
totally.
growing up on Miles Davis, you might think this sucks.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it at the time because it's just so drastically different from like, kind of blue or the birth of the cool.
Yeah, those are the things I'm used to. But I mean, all these people can do several things. Like Buckethead is a virtuoso guitarist and he
Yeah.
does keyboard sometimes, or, banjo or bass or whatever. And then, of course, Flea just came out with the trumpet album. Did you hear that one
Hmm.
yet?
I have not listened to it yet, but I am looking forward to it. I like a lot of the people he plays with on there quite a bit.
Yeah, when you're
And I,
Flea, you can kind of attract a lot of people to your trumpet
yeah,
solo album, can't you?
yeah, no, I'm happy he's putting that out, and I really am excited to listen to it. I just haven't gotten a chance yet.
Yeah, Andre 3000 did something like that with alto sax or something. And it's like,
Flutes.
oh, it was a flute?
It was all flutes. Yeah.
Gosh, well, I have to listen to it because one thing I like about it is that it's keeping them happy enough to stay around in music. Like
Yeah.
it's like any big touring act that you want to go see, they put out a shitty album, but you're like, oh, there's one good song on here, and at least they will tour on it, which means
Right.
that the 20 other songs I like of theirs will be played, and the one new good one, it keeps them happy enough to keep coming around, which makes me happy. So
Yeah.
if this is what Miles Davis needed to keep going with music instead of just giving up because there's nothing new under the sun. That's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Your next song, I don't even know it's a good song, but you're gonna have to explain to me what is the title? Like what the hell is a Thrasher in Neil Young's Thrasher? And it's
Ah,
going up
that's
against Clash Magnificent Seven.
this is a tough match.
And first, give me the 2 second version of your ABBA opinion on Gimme, 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 A Man Before Midnight, which might come
I
off as a little I mean, it's from a woman's point of view, and she wants a man, I suppose. But the fact that I like this
yeah.
song and I'm not into men just shows how good of a song it is.
It is like nobody can write pop hooks like ABBA. Like there's just nobody else who does it like that. It's immediately like on a cellular level, the hooks grab you. I also love A Man Before After Midnight in the parentheses is just a great, that's just such a funny way to title a song.
Because normally that's like we were talking about David Bowie's Cat People, and
Hmm.
I was like, he doesn't say Cat People in there, but then in the parentheses it says playing with fire or putting out fire with
Yeah.
gasoline or whatever you actually hear in the song. Whereas here, there was no danger of us not knowing what Gimme, Gimme, Gimme was. They didn't have to put in a man after
Right.
midnight
Yeah. It's like we
parenthetically.
got it. We know. No, but it's funny. It's just funny. I also After Midnight is just such a funny like time frame. I don't know. It's good
Yeah, why
stuff.
not 11:59, right?
Yeah, yeah. 10 p.m., 10:30.
She's like, nah, dude. I'd say no
Yeah,
to a man
late.
at 11:59. I'm not drunk enough yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Neil
Well,
Young's Thrasher, usually on this album, I go for Powderfinger.
Hmm.
I also had to look up, but at least it kind of the words make sense to me. Whereas, what the hell is a thrasher? Because normally I would think it's some sort of agricultural machine.
Right. Yeah, I think that is what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
I think it's some sort of like field harrowing thing. But it could also he could just be talking about himself because he plays guitar so damn good.
Oh, that's a
Uh,
thrasher too. Yeah.
he's thrashing. But I think it's like a thresher in this case, but I'm not sure. I love just
Oh,
sort of the
Thrasher is agriculture machine, right?
yeah, right.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. And so he just called it a thrasher. Because I
I
mean,
think
he's talking
so.
about people gathering under the full moon and things, and I was like, that can't be an agricultural machine.
I think he's talking about, I think he sees some sort of like tractor like tearing up a field. I'm not positive. It
Okay.
could mean a lot of different things. I just really loved like the sort of metaphors in this song a lot, like the field of time and just another line in the field of time is just like a really great sort of way to think about your relation to like eternity, which is what kind of what he's doing. Like it's cosmic Neil. There's so many different kinds of Neil, but this is like real cosmic Neil where he's just like he's out there floating over the universe and describing kind of what he sees. Uh
But
I love it.
I think I did notice some of the bigger themes. So it's good to know that I have to kind of look through it with a metaphorical lens where Neil is contemplating his own mortality. But it's good he's doing it in kind of a very easy, it's consumable, it's easily consumable. Whereas,
Yeah,
if he gets weird musically, that can be a little
right.
bit less palatable for messages he wants to get out there.
Yeah, no, it's like a really catchy, immediately catchy sort of melancholy melody that, he's just so good at like he probably wrote that in like 2 seconds. It's just unbelievable. Uh and it's just yeah, every time I listen to it, it's such a mood. I just really think it's like transcendental almost.
Yeah, I think everybody would be interested to learn not only your feeling about the Clash song, but what are the different types of Neil other than Cosmic Neil?
Oh man. Well, there's like angry scold Neil, like Southern Man, where he's just sort of lecturing you about politics. There's
And it's like, thanks, Neil,
man.
you wrecked Pearl Jam for a while because of their political BS, right?
Yeah.
Even if you agree
Um,
with Pearl Jam, it's like, I don't want to hear a song about George
right.
W.
It's
Bush.
just a
Thank you.
little preachy. Yeah.
Yeah, preachy. Yes, gold is funny.
Um, what else does he do? He does like, I'm so washed and depressed, like a man needs a maid, just like the ditch stuff where he's just so at the end of his tether, can barely move off the couch kind of deal. There's Noisy Neil, like where he just plays like an insane amount of you know, one note distorted solos.
But he really
There's like
feels them, so you should enjoy
he
listening
does.
to it, right?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I love it. I'm not gonna lie. That stuff's catnip for me. And or Arc. Have you heard Arc, which is just a whole album of collaged feedback from his shows? It's incredible.
No. And that's what
Yeah.
I was talking about. Like sometimes he's more musically out there, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't
This
know if
one
I
is
want to sit
out.
down to listen to it. So why don't you tuck your messages into a nice folk song instead?
Yeah, no, there's no lyrics on Arc. It is straight up like pieces of guitar solos, feedback, and crowd noise from a concert tour. It was
But
produced
you like it
by
though, huh?
Oh, I love it. I love stuff like that.
Because
Is
as
it
a
it's
guitarist, like I wouldn't sit down and listen to it. But if you're telling me it's the best of Neil Young's distorted guitar on stage, I might listen to it.
it is sort of like that, yeah. It was he picked it to sort of make something out of it. I believe the Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth was involved, so make of that what you will.
Oh yeah,
It's
Thurston Moore and his distortion is also just as good, right?
yeah. So it's pretty avant-garde. There's avant-garde Neil. That's the one. Yeah, but the Clash. This is the Clash is a band that I always kind of want to like more than I do really do. I don't know why that is.
I don't think they always hit. People have been kind of suggesting the Clash and the songs they pick are like, I don't know, man. It's not as good as Magnificent Seven. I mean, Bank Robber's another one that's kind of reggae, and I didn't want to pick it just
Mhm.
because they might be appropriating culture. Who knows? But this one has just a kick-ass bass line and cool
Yeah.
rhythmic clapping, and it's pretty tight pop
Yeah.
Clash.
Yeah, it is a really good one. It is a great pick. I will not and like what exactly are they singing about? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I recall cops kicking gypsies across the pavement or something. So I'd have to go back into
Right.
it. But check out Reed Jackson on Twitter. He's Naked Foul, Nakedfoul, and it's important to remember that spelling because it's nakedfoul.substack.com. Too many notes from underground, and on Instagram, Blargeld, and that's a music critic for you. Reed Jackson, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was great.